So this is a different video. It's unlike anything I've ever made before, because in this video we're going to be breaking down my life plan step by step by step, something that I've never even got close to sharing on YouTube. And I really want to know what you have to say about this life plan, so just leave all of your opinions down in the description. But before we get into it, I've got to start with a quick disclaimer. And that disclaimer is that everything I say may be subject to change. Of course, I'm just a kid, and everything that I'm saying now may change over time. That is expected, and these things just happen. So everything I have to say may change. It could change today, it could change tomorrow, but after a lot of thinking, this is the best that I've come up with so far. And before I can go on to explain my life plan, I've got to very quickly, it's just going to take me 60 seconds or so, to explain the idea of business perfection. And this is what businesses, they reach out to. They set a statement, and this is what their perfection would look like. And every single action they take, they get themselves one step closer towards that statement. So for Google, and before I butcher it, let me just read it out to you. Google's idea of perfection is to organize all of the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. So you can see that every single action they take, whether that's with Google Maps or Google Translate or Google Search or everything that Google do, all they are trying to do is organize all of the world's information and make it accessible. Now that is their idea of perfection, and everything they do is taking them one step closer towards that goal. Now Microsoft's idea of perfection was to have a computer on every desk in every single house. Now back then computers were huge, computers were expensive, and computers were specialized. They set that their idea of perfection, and then they went about trying to make that happen. Now, what is my idea of perfection? Well, I think that it is to systemize fulfillment. Put very simply, I want people to be able to take a pill, just instantly be able to know exactly what they need to do in order to be happy. In my plan, that is the most impactful thing that I could do. I say step 1, you must do this, step 2, you must do this, and step 3, you must do this. A pill is the idea of perfection. More realistically, it's going to be a 7-day transformation. Better than that, a 24-hour transformation, but you get the point. For me, if everyone knows exactly what they need to do to be happy, being happy is the first step to making an impact on other people, and that is the ripple effect that will just be absolutely phenomenal. Now let me explain what I'm planning to do to get towards this, at least go in the direction of that idea. Let me explain that to you right now. Now the first step towards me doing this is by creating a mastermind group. And that's going to be very limited access, and you will have an invite. Put simply, I'm going to make a group, a tribe of men or women that are all going towards the goal of making themselves have an incredible and fulfilling life. A very small, a very exclusive group of men that I'm going to be opening up to my YouTube channel and to my email list, but there's going to be applications to get in. And once you're in, we're going to be working together very closely, step by step, on overcoming your biggest problems and getting towards your deepest desires, the desires that you don't share with people, the desires that you know will make you happy but you're scared of fulfilling them, and getting rid of the problems that have been plaguing you for years and years and years. So we're going to start by picking a specific problem that we want to overcome. Maybe that's procrastination, maybe that's feeling lost, maybe that's, wasting time. I'll get more onto this later, and I'm going to actually ask for a favor for you at the end of this video, so I'd really appreciate it if you could stick around then and just do me a big favor if I've ever brought you any value. So we're going to be creating this mastermind group where there's going to be a small amount of us working closely together, working out what it is needed to get us to overcome this problem. And the reason I'm creating this mastermind group is because I've overcome these problems. At one point in my life, I felt lost. In one point in my life, I was wasting time. In one point in my life, I was procrastinating. But the problem is, the things that worked for me to overcome these problems, I don't know if they work for everyone. Now this is the first test I did, and I started bringing it to clients, people that wanted to go and get coaching with me personally. And I tested these things on them, and they worked. Everything that I did works on them as well. But that's great. But again, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 people, that's not enough for a proof of concept. So I'm planning on bringing a mastermind where I can collect more data on what works for people. And if you're part of that group, we're going to be working very closely together. And this is going to be coming out in April or something like that. But put simply, we're going to be working together, finding out exactly what works, getting you results. Now there will be a price to enter this. And if you're wondering why there's a price to enter this, because people that pay attention. And basically the idea of this group is to make data, to collect data on what works and what doesn't work on overcoming the problem, what works and what doesn't work in getting fulfillment. And hopefully when I can deliver these people results, they are going to spread the word through testimonials and through word of mouth. So the more results that I can bring people, the more word of mouth there's going to be, and the more people that will enter this group. You see how it works? People enter the group, that's stage 1. Stage 2, I deliver them results. Stage 3, they talk to people about these results that they get, which then brings more people back into the group. And you can see that there's this cycle, this flywheel of more and more data being received. And after a few people have been through this mastermind and overcome this problem, I'll have a proof of concept. I can say 99% of time, you need to do step 1, step 2, step 3, and that will work. I've proven it. I've tested it with all of these people in my mastermind, these people I've been working closely with. Then at that point, I've got a proof of concept, something that works, something that has been proven to work at overcoming this problem. Because at the moment, I've got theories. I think I know what works, and it's worked for a few people. I just need more data. Now, once I've collected that data, I'm going to put it all, and I've got a proof of concept. I know what works, and it's proven to work. That is when I put it into a course. And when you hear the word course, what I'm going to be creating is unlike any course you have ever seen. Think bigger than a university degree. We're going to be creating something that is life-changing. With all of this data that we've got and all of this proof that we've got that these ideas work, we're going to be able to detail step by step in such meticulous detail exactly how to overcome this problem that it will be ridiculous. When we've got that proof of concept, the best thing about that, and the reason why I'm going to be switching from a mastermind to a course, is because in mastermind, you're going to be working very closely with me. And of course, that's got time limitations. That's why with a course, unlimited people can go through it without my time. That means taking me out of the bottleneck, because in a mastermind, I am the bottleneck. With a course, I am not the bottleneck. So by creating that course, again, we're going to be able to create more data. We have a ridiculous amount of data. Thousands of people have gone through this. We know exactly what works and exactly what doesn't work. And once this course has been created, again, the same thing will happen. The flywheel will happen. The course will deliver people results. Those people will talk about the results. Those people will then join the course, and it goes round and round and round, getting a ridiculous amount of data on exactly what works and exactly what doesn't work to overcome your problem and ultimately be fulfilled. Now, all of this sounds incredible, and put very, very simply, I'm going to be starting a mastermind to overcome a specific problem, collecting data from the mastermind until I get a proof of concept. That proof of concept will go into a course, which will again create more data so that I can come up with a step-by-step plan on how to be happy and how to be fulfilled and how to live an incredible life and how to make the people around you proud of you and how to be proud of yourself and how to be confident. That is the ultimate goal that I'm trying to create. Now, for this to happen, I've got to start with the mastermind, like we talked about, and you are going to be invited. And because of that, I want you to tell me what I need to create the mastermind about. I've got a few ideas, but there's no point me thinking myself what would be best for the people. Instead, I've just got to ask you. So what I'm going to do is there's a link in the first link in the description for a Google Forms, which is a very quick survey. It should just take you 2 minutes that will detail exactly what you want to be in the mastermind, because ultimately you are the one that's going to be inside of the mastermind. So I want to talk to you and find out what you want me to create. So go ahead and click that first link in the description. Now, there's a few benefits of you doing this. First of all, it's going to help me out. I greatly appreciate it. And if I've ever delivered you any value, I'd really appreciate it if you went and did it. Second of all, the questions are going to let you identify the problems that you're having. And obviously, the first step in overcoming your problems is by identifying your problems. And third of all, ultimately, this mastermind will be for you. So if you can help me take the time to detail and outline this mastermind that you will be invited to, and it's not going to be expensive. It's not going to be expensive at all. But if you can do that, then of course, it's going to benefit you when it does come out. That is all I've got to say for this. Go ahead, click the first link in the description, and thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your attention.